Shabbat Shalom, and happy Thanksgiving weekend. I was looking to try to find some connections between Thanksgiving and this week's Parsha, and what I realized is that it's actually pretty hard. It's not so obvious what are the connections, not that there always has to be, but it's always nice when there is. And I was struck by sort of the difficulty of expressing gratitude that I think shows up in this week's Parsha. I think we can think of examples maybe with Leah when she has her son Yehuda and she expresses praise to God, or even names that kind of capture experiences of gratitude. But one of the things we see in this week's Parsha is there's a lot of people who are in deep need and they aren't necessarily able to express gratitude or say thank you in the way that we might expect or have come to kind of include thank you in our language all the time. We see Yitzchak and Rivka struggling to have children. Yitzchak goes to pray. They get pregnant, and then Rivka's still in a moment of struggle. Vayitotzu banim b'kirba. She's still in a moment of struggle. And eventually they have children, and we don't really hear anything. We know about the interactions between Yaakov and Esav in the beginning of the Parsha, where instead of Esav saying, "I'm hungry," and Yaakov saying, "Sure, no problem, here's some food," it becomes transactional, and there's no gratitude or thanks expressed. Later in the Parsha, between Yaakov and Yitzchak, or Esav and Yitzchak, there's the struggles over the blessings, but we nonetheless aren't faced with a lot of thanks being expressed. And I think this is a powerful noticing that it's really hard to say thank you. It's really hard to have gratitude, especially when we're struggling, especially when we have feelings of insecurity around our family, around having children, around our status or place in the world. What's interesting, in the middle of the Parsha is actually the only place where we see it, and it's when Yitzchak finally is able to dig a well that's not contested by the locals, and he says, "This is the place where God has expanded the land. God has sort of made me fruitful, given me something. It's the land of Rechovot." And what we see there is that Yitzchak finally says, I'm in a moment of expansiveness. I'm in a moment of freedom. I'm in a moment where I actually have everything that I need. And now I can say thank you to God at this time. And so I think there's something really powerful in this Parsha where it kind of validates and affirms the experience of knowing that it's really hard to say thank you, whether it's to our parents or to our friends or to our community or to our children. It's really hard to say thank you, especially when we're feeling insecurity. But trying to get to that place, or finding oneself in a place or a moment of expansiveness, in a moment of shefa, of abundance, of a recognition that we aren't always suffering or we aren't always insecure, but when we are feeling that level of security or feeling that we have what we need, it's in those moments that we try to express our thanks, our gratitude to those around us and to God above. Wishing each of you a beautiful Thanksgiving weekend, wherever you may find yourself, with the hope and the prayer that you can find that place of openness and say thank you to those around you and to God above. Shabbat Shalom.